Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Quarantine Conversations brought to you by the SCSU Huskies Athletics app. I'm Alex Cotter, and with me today is probably our favorite guest, men's basketball head coach, Matt Reimer. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alex. I love that intro. I hope I'm your favorite.
Well, I did cover a lot of basketball last year, so it's been fun. It's been fun watching the team, and last year, you had a little bit of younger team.
Yeah.
You had it got off to a little bit slower start than you would have hoped. But then the second half of the season, you guys really turned around. It seemed like you guys were firing all cylinders. What change made to kind of get the season back on track?
Yeah, I think, we were in transition last year, when we had six seniors the year before that had played a ton of minutes for us and won a lot of basketball games that all graduated. And so even though we had a couple starters back, they were in completely different roles. And it took us a little bit longer than we wanted to identify, who our go-to guys were going to be. Trey ended up being our go-to guy, but going into the year, we didn't know if that was going to be him or if it was going to be somebody else. And so Trey really stepped up, and then Oliver Earnball really started playing well and getting an opportunity. And then our new guys, whether it was the freshmen in Anthony Roberts and Caleb Donaldson or junior college transfers like Ilya Chertitnik, those guys just got better and better as the year went on, and what you would expect. And by the end of the year, we were playing pretty well. We got beat in the first round of the tournament down at Augustana, but we led the whole game and really made a couple uncharacteristic mistakes that cost us that game, or else we would have advanced. And so I felt really, even though you hate losing and all that stuff, you felt like we made a lot of progress throughout the year. And even though we didn't win that last game, I was really proud of the way our guys played.
You talked about Anthony Roberts and Caleb Donaldson. In the second half of the season, they really started to play like upperclassmen, like they were seniors, and really kind of led the way even when Trey wasn't even on the court. What's their impact going to be this season on the team, and kind of what have they taken some leadership roles? Kind of what's the scoop there?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it right there, Alex, that they've taken some leadership. Again, we're still going to be really young this year. I mean, we only have one. Ilya's our only senior. We only have three juniors, and Ethan's the only junior that's been around. The other two guys are junior college transfers. One's a walk-on and one we recruited. So we're still going to be really, really young. And but I really like the core of this team, and we can keep this group together for the next 3 or 4 years. We have a chance to be pretty good, and those two guys are going to be kind of the ringleaders in Caleb, because they're going to be around the longest. Ilya will be a leader this year, and he's done a really nice job of stepping up as a senior. But as you look at the core of the program, Ant and Caleb are going to be the guys that are going to kind of be in the mix for everything here for the next 3 or 4 years. And so, those are the guys you kind of hang your hat on. And I really like those guys a lot. I trust them. They really believe in what we're trying to do, and they want to get better and they want to win. And that's a great place to start.
And with everything getting shut down this summer, how were you able to still kind of keep the guys motivated, keep them, working out in shape? What was that like? I know there's NCAA restrictions on some, but how were you able to keep the team engaged over the quarantine?
Well, we were allowed to do some the weightlifting stuff. All had to be basically body weight stuff that you could do at home, because most of the fitness centers and health clubs and gyms were closed. And Travis Zims, our strength and conditioning coach, did a great job of helping those guys. And we met once a week online with him, and he put them through the workout. Then they did it on their own the rest of the week. Guys that could find a gym to sneak into did. The rest of the guys were outdoors, kind of went old school on it. And so you just had to be kind of creative. And then in July, they allowed us to start working out with guys in the summer, which they've never allowed before. And so guys came back right away. Ant and Caleb being two of the guys that came back right away. And so we were able to get in the gym with those guys and do some workouts and start a little bit earlier. And then other guys kind of filtered in throughout the rest of the summer before school started. So it wasn't traditional in any sense of the manner, but I was pleased that the guys who had the opportunities to come in and work out early did and took advantage of that. And the guys that really worked hard on the weight room or on their physical strength by doing body weight type exercises did. And, even though we weren't able to get in the weight room like normal, I think our guys, all of them put on a little weight. They've all put on some muscle. And so hopefully we can continue that development.
And, you said that the team's still going to be young this season. Who's kind of stood out in fall practice as far as, underclassmen goes?
Well, it's been hard because we haven't had all 14 guys out of practice yet, and that's been hard. But again, I think when it starts with new guys, Josh Tomasi is a 6'10" transfer, Australian kid, a center that is going to be a really good player. He spent a semester at Western State in Colorado, which is Division II school, developed altitude sickness out there, and so that's why he transferred. And fortunately, Nick Grantham, one of our guys that is from Melbourne, also has a good relationship with him, and that's how we got Josh. So Josh has looked really good, and he's going to be an impact guy for us. Matthew Willard out of Buffalo, Minnesota, is going to be an impact guy because he can shoot it like no other that we've had in a long time, probably going back to Scotty Stone and stuff like that. Now, that's not to say Brinley Tyson wasn't a great shooter, because Brinley is probably the best pure shooter we've had. But Matthew's going to remind people of Scotty, and he's going to take some shots where you're going to go, whoa, but he's going to find a way to make those shots. He's got unlimited range, and he's got a quick release. And so, he's going to remind people of Scotty in that way, but he's going to have the same shooting, hopefully the same type of shooting percentages as what Bryn put up, because, the kid can really shoot it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. So those two guys are a great place to start for us.
Yeah. And, you're approaching the start of the season here. You got about a month and a half until the first game. And I think you're starting on the road against Upper Iowa. How do you keep the guys, engaged? It's been very limited, kind of weird practices. How have you been able to keep them engaged, especially now the holidays are coming, finals are coming? What's kind of the message to the team?
Just take it one day at a time. I mean, we really try to hope that we can practice today. Each day I wake up and, those guys don't get up quite as early as I do, but, by 10 o'clock in the morning, if I don't have any text messages from our guys and we're practicing at 12:30, then I'm okay, we're going to get the practice in today. And we only get 4 hours a week right now. So for example, Monday, one of our guys woke up and had a cold, and that shuts down him and the other 3 guys in his room until they get the actual test back to prove that it's not COVID. So we just cancel practice on Monday and move it to Friday. And so that part's hard. I mean, guys wake up thinking they're going to go to practice, and then they get a text from me saying, hey, we're going to move it to Friday because guys have symptoms and we got to wait through the tests and all that stuff. So it's been really challenged that way. And then, sometimes it's just like, hey, look, we got 10 guys at practice today, and we got to do the best we can do. And I've been really pleased at the way they've approached it, that they've been flexible, that they've understood that, hey, this could happen during the season where we might only have 8 guys for a night. And we're going to have to be really resilient when it comes to that type of thing. And we're going to have to be multidimensional because, one night we might only have 5 guards. The next game, we may only have post guys. And so we're going to have to be creative in what we do as coaches to put guys in the right spots. But as players, they're going to have to be really flexible.
All right, Coach. Well, that does it for me. They're going to be back home on January 8th against UMary at Hollenbeck Hall. You can tune into the athletic stream to watch the games. Coach, thanks for joining me, and have a good rest of your day.
Hey, thanks, Alex. You have a great Thanksgiving, too. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.